Hey friends, welcome. May 12th, 2025. Picture this. It's Monday morning. The headlines are heavy, the streets are worn, and people are trying to survive another week. But somewhere, quietly and without fanfare, Jesus shows up. Not in ancient robes or glowing light, but as a real man walking real streets, listening, healing, speaking life where there's despair. Not in cathedrals, but in classrooms. Not just in church pews, but in prison cells and soup kitchens. And that's the heart of this journey. A daily look at what Jesus might do if he walked among us in 2025, city by city, person by person. And today, he's in Jackson, Mississippi, a city burdened by poverty and marked by courage, history, and soul. A city that's been through the fire and still sings. So join me. Let's walk with Jesus. It's 6:15 a.m. The sun is just beginning to rise over Jackson. Birds stir and mist hovers over the calm water. At Lefleur's Bluff State Park, Jesus walks down to a quiet place beneath a tall cypress. He kneels at the riverbank, fingers brushing the wet grass, his eyes toward heaven. Father, he prays softly, this city carries burdens too heavy for its people to hold alone. Let me be the touch of healing today. Let every word I speak drip with mercy. Let every person I meet feel your presence before they hear my name. He stands, not to escape solitude, but to bring the peace of that moment with him into the heart of the city. It's 8 a.m. at Point Dexter Elementary School. In South Jackson, classrooms are overcrowded, teachers underpaid, and supplies, well, they're scarce. But Jesus walks in like he belongs there, because he does. He enters Miss Carter's third grade class with a warm smile and a kind presence that instantly calms the room. No one asks where his visitor badge is. Something deeper says, he is welcome. He kneels beside a boy named Jameer, labeled disruptive and often left behind. Jesus gently hands him a marker and says, "Draw me what courage looks like." Well, Jameer sketches a boy holding a slingshot and standing tall. Jesus nods. "That's David," he says, "and you've got the same heart." Across the room, a girl named Navia pulls at his sleeve and whispers, "My mom cries every night." And Jesus turns to her and replies, "Tell her this for me. You are not alone. Help is closer than you think." Out in the hallway, a teacher leans against the wall and weeps. Jesus finds her and says, "You're not failing. You're fighting. And heaven sees every swing." 10:30 a.m. University of Mississippi Medical Center, Pediatric Cancer Wing. The 5th floor smells sterile, like bleach, fear, and unspoken prayers. Jesus walks quietly into room 523, where 9-year-old Malik lies weak, his mother sleeping upright in a chair, clutching a juice bottle. Jesus pulls a small carved fish from his pocket, simple olive wood, worn smooth. "This is for warriors," he tells Malik, "and that's what you are." Malik stares at it and then at Jesus. "Are you a doctor?" "No," Jesus answers, "but I heal hearts." He places the fish in Malik's hand, and Malik falls asleep peacefully for the first time in days. Outside, in the corridor, Jesus embraces Malik's mother as she breaks down. Her tears spill into his shoulder as he whispers, "Even here, in rooms like this, I am the God who sees." 12:30 p.m. at the Stew Pot Community Services on West Capitol Street, and people line up in the heat, homeless, jobless, weary. Some haven't eaten in days. Some have stopped hoping for anything better. But inside Stew Pot, Jesus throws on an apron and begins ladling red beans and rice. He greets each person by name, even if it's the first time they've ever heard it spoken, with kindness. He doesn't just serve, he sits. He eats next to Curtis, a man who's been sleeping under a bridge for 9 years. Curtis hasn't spoken in months, and Jesus listens, then says softly, "You used to sing in a church choir, didn't you?" Curtis's lips tremble. Then, like a breeze through dry leaves, a song rises. "Precious Lord, take my hand." Others join. The soup kitchen becomes a sacred place. 3 p.m., Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. Inside the museum, history speaks through photographs, burned crosses, and stained cotton. Jesus walks through slowly, stopping at the Medgar Evers exhibit. His fingers trace the edge of the glass. He turns to a group of college students from Jackson State University, standing near the mural. "They marched so you could stand," he tells them. "They stood so you could run. Don't waste the sacrifice. And don't forget, justice isn't finished yet." He steps into this little light of mine room, where faces of heroes glow as the gospel song plays. He lifts his hands and simply says, "The light still shines. Don't cover it." 5:30 p.m. Pick up football at Mill Street Yard. Now, this field isn't official. There's no lines and no scoreboard. But for these kids in the Georgetown neighborhood, it's everything. Jesus shows up in worn sneakers and a Jackson State Tigers tee, carrying a duffel bag full of new cleats donated anonymously. The kids shout, "You gonna play with us?" He laughs, "Only if I'm quarterback." He throws perfect spirals, outruns teenage defenders, and calls each kid by name they've never heard before. Names like Leader, warrior, peacemaker. And after the game, the boys huddle around him. Jesus kneels and prays. God, raise up men of honor from this field. Let them change what the world says they cannot. Let them rise. They bow their heads, some for the first time. 7:30 p.m. Hinds County Detention Center. Inside the concrete walls of Cell Block B, men sit shackled not just by bars, but by regret. Jesus enters quietly, and no guards stop him. He pulls up a plastic chair, no pulpit, no robe, just presence. He reads the parable of the prodigal son from memory, then looks up and says, "Some of you think it's too late, but the Father is still running." One man, face covered in gang tattoos, breaks down. Another begins writing a letter to his son, the first in a decade. Jesus says, "You are more than your worst moment, and I never stopped calling your name." "9 p.m. Farish Street Historic District. The moon hangs low. Farish Street is quiet, littered with memories of black excellence and economic power now buried beneath shuttered windows. Jesus walks slowly past murals and boarded jazz clubs. He stops beneath a flickering lamppost, kneels, and prays. "Father, I saw forgotten children, broken bodies, stolen potential, and unshaken faith. I stood in places where injustice once ruled and still lurks. Let this city know you still walk here. Let every heart that feels invisible tonight know you see them." He stands, one last look down the street, and he disappears into the dark, carrying the light with him. Amen. So today, Jesus walked the soul of Jackson. He didn't fix everything, but he touched everything he came near. He saw, he stayed, he loved. And tomorrow, a new city, a new chapter, a new heart to heal. So come back tomorrow, because Jesus is still walking, and he may come to your doorstep next. So before you leave, and we're about done here, I want you to stay for one more moment. I want to say a prayer for everything and anything you're holding in your heart on this day, today. Okay? Stay with me. Say it along if you know it. Here we go. I'll lead. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. And if you don't currently subscribe to this channel, well, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and become a permanent member of our family. And don't forget, Hug your family because they love you. I'll be back tomorrow. God bless you, friends. Bye-bye.